You're lying in bed next to someone who used to tear your clothes off. Now she turns away when you touch her shoulder. She has a headache for the 15th time this month. She's too tired, too stressed, too busy, always too something. But here's what nobody's telling you. The death of her desire isn't about sex. It's a symptom of something much deeper, and if you're focused on the bedroom, you're missing the real problem. Let me explain what's actually happening when intimacy dies and why everything you're trying to fix it is probably making it worse. Sexual refusal is a symptom, not the root problem. When someone consistently avoids intimacy, they're not just rejecting sex, they're communicating something about how they see you, the relationship, and their place in it. The bedroom is simply where this deeper dynamic becomes impossible to ignore. You can't fake desire. You can't negotiate genuine attraction. When it's gone, it's the most honest feedback you'll ever get. I had a client who tracked his attempts at intimacy for 6 months. Every rejection, every excuse, every pattern. What he discovered wasn't about sex at all. The rejections aligned perfectly with other behaviours. She stopped laughing at his jokes, stopped asking about his day, stopped sitting next to him on the couch. The sexual rejection was just the final domino in a chain that had been falling for months. There's a crucial difference between temporary and chronic refusal that most people miss. Temporary refusal happens to everyone. Work stress, health issues, family problems. Life gets in the way of desire sometimes. That's normal. But when weeks turn into months, when excuses become routine, when intimacy becomes a negotiation instead of a natural expression, that's not life getting in the way. That's someone who's checked out. External influences and personal circumstances do matter, and men often overlook legitimate factors. Some people genuinely lose desire during stressful periods. Hormonal changes, medication, depression, grief. These are real libido killers. But here's how you know the difference. Someone dealing with temporary issues will acknowledge the problem, show concern about it, and try to maintain other forms of intimacy. Someone using circumstances as cover won't. A woman dealing with genuine health issues told me she felt terrible about her lost libido. She initiated other forms of intimacy, scheduled doctor appointments, communicated openly with her partner. Compare that to someone who just says, "I'm tired every night" while scrolling Instagram until 2 a.m. One is a problem to solve together, the other is an excuse to avoid you. The warning signs of a more serious issue go beyond the bedroom. When someone withdraws sexually, watch what else disappears. Physical affection outside of sex, the casual touches, spontaneous hugs, kisses that aren't obligatory pecks. If someone won't even hold your hand anymore, the problem isn't about sex, it's about not wanting to touch you at all. Then there's the lack of contribution in other areas. Someone who genuinely loves you but has intimacy issues will compensate in other ways. They'll cook your favourite meals, plan special dates, show appreciation differently. But someone who's withdrawn completely, they contribute nothing emotionally, materially, or relationally. You're getting rejection across the board. I counselled a man whose partner hadn't been intimate with him in 8 months, but that wasn't the real problem. She also stopped cooking, stopped cleaning, stopped working, stopped talking beyond logistics. She was physically present but emotionally and relationally absent. The sexual rejection was just one symptom of complete disengagement. The refusal to spend quality time together is particularly telling. Someone might be genuinely too tired for sex but still want to cuddle and watch movies. Someone might have low libido but still enjoy date nights. When someone avoids all forms of couple time, always on their phone, always busy with friends, always finding reasons to be elsewhere, they're not avoiding sex. They're avoiding you. Sexual denial as a tool of control or manipulation is darker than most people realise. Some individuals consciously withhold intimacy to assert power. They've learned that controlling access to sex gives them leverage. The more desperate you become, the more power they accumulate. It's not about desire at all, it's about dominance. This manipulation often follows a pattern. Early in relationships, intimacy is frequent, enthusiastic, creative. Once commitment is secured, marriage, kids, financial entanglement, it gradually disappears. Not because desire naturally faded, but because it was always transactional. The sex was bait. Once you're caught, why keep baiting the hook? The reinforcement of submissive behaviour through denial is insidious. The more you beg, plead, or try to earn intimacy, the less attractive you become. You bring flowers, nothing. You do more chores, nothing. You plan romantic dinners, nothing. Each attempt to earn intimacy actually reinforces that you don't deserve it naturally. One client spent thousands on gifts trying to reignite his partner's desire. Jewelry, vacations, spa treatments. The more he gave, the less she wanted him. Why? Because he was communicating that he wasn't inherently desirable. He was trying to purchase what should be freely given in a healthy relationship. Emotional and physiological needs are intertwined in ways people don't discuss. Sexual intimacy isn't just about physical release, it's about feeling desired, valued, chosen. When someone consistently rejects you sexually, they're not just denying you pleasure, they're denying you validation, connection, and proof that you matter to them. The psychological impact of constant rejection is devastating. Men start questioning everything about themselves. Am I ugly now? Do I smell bad? Am I bad at sex? The self-doubt becomes consuming. But often, the rejection has nothing to do with you and everything to do with how your partner sees the relationship. The metaphor of basic needs highlights the absurdity of the situation. Imagine someone controlling all your food, giving you just enough to survive but never enough to feel satisfied. Then they get angry when you complain about being hungry. That's what sexual denial in a committed relationship feels like. Being starved while someone holds all the food. Some partners will say, sex isn't everything, while making it nothing. They'll claim you're obsessed with sex while ensuring it's all you can think about through deprivation. They create the very fixation they criticize. It's like holding someone underwater, then complaining they're obsessed with air. The impact of being too accommodating cannot be overstated. The more you accept rejection gracefully, the more rejection you'll get. The more you suppress your needs to avoid conflict, the more your needs will be ignored. Being understanding becomes being a doormat. Your patience isn't seen as virtue but as weakness. I've seen men wait months, even years, hoping things will improve. They become relationship monks, celibate within their own marriages. They think their loyalty and patience will eventually be rewarded. Instead, their partners lose even more respect for them. Who respects someone who accepts such treatment? The consequences of manipulation or disengagement often point to something darker. When intimacy, attention, and affection all disappear simultaneously, there's often someone else in the picture. Maybe not physically yet, but emotionally. Your partner has already transferred their intimate energy elsewhere. A co-worker, an online connection, an old flame. The signs are usually there if you look. Sudden interest in appearance, but not for you. New underwear you never see, guarding their phone religiously, working late more often, going out with friends you've never met. The sexual rejection isn't because they have no desire, it's because their desire is directed elsewhere. Waiting for spontaneous reconciliation or magic words is futile. Some men think if they just find the right thing to say, the right gesture to make, the right button to push, intimacy will return. They're looking for the cheat code to their partner's desire. But desire isn't a puzzle to solve. It's a response to who you are and how you show up. Self-change as the solution means focusing on your own position in the relationship. Instead of trying to earn intimacy through service, build your own value, get in shape for yourself, advance your career for yourself, develop interests for yourself. The paradox is that becoming less focused on getting intimacy often makes you more worthy of it. A client completely changed his approach, stopped asking for sex, stopped trying to please, started going to the gym at 5 a.m, started a side business, reconnected with old friends. Within 3 months, his wife was initiating intimacy again. Not because he figured out the trick, but because he became someone worth desiring again. 10. Understanding context before reacting is crucial. Not all refusal is manipulative or malicious. A partner dealing with trauma, grief, or genuine medical issues needs support, not pressure. The question is whether they're working on the problem or using it as permanent excuse. Are they seeking help or just expecting endless patience? I knew a couple where the woman had severe endometriosis causing painful sex. But she communicated constantly, sought treatment, found alternative ways to be intimate, and showed genuine distress about the situation. Compare that to someone who claims vague issues but won't see a doctor, won't discuss alternatives, won't acknowledge your needs. The relationship hierarchy and respect determines everything. When you're seen as an equal partner, temporary intimacy issues get addressed together. When you're seen as a provider or servant, your needs become irrelevant. The question isn't why someone won't sleep with you, it's why they don't respect you enough to care about your needs. Maintaining a position of respect requires boundaries. If intimacy disappears without explanation or effort to address it, there must be consequences. Not ultimatums or threats, but natural consequences. Less emotional availability, less financial generosity, less relationship investment. You match their energy. Some women view their partners as success objects rather than romantic partners. Once the lifestyle is secured, the romance becomes unnecessary. They got the house, the kids, the financial security. Sex was the price of admission, not an ongoing feature. These relationships were transactions disguised as romance. The holistic view of intimacy reveals the full picture. Physical intimacy doesn't exist in isolation. It's connected to emotional intimacy, sharing feelings, dreams, fears. It's connected to intellectual intimacy, deep conversations, shared interests. When one form of intimacy dies, examine the others. Usually they're dying too. Denial in one area reflects imbalance everywhere. A partner who denies you sexually often denies you emotionally, conversationally, recreationally. You're not partners anymore, you're roommates. Actually, worse than roommates, because roommates don't usually prevent you from finding intimacy elsewhere. Long-term solutions versus temporary fixes require brutal honesty. Buying flowers won't fix fundamental disrespect. Date nights won't resurrect dead desire. Counselling won't create attraction that doesn't exist. These are band-aids on gunshot wounds. The real solution might be accepting the relationship has run its course. I've watched men spend years trying to fix dead bedrooms with temporary measures. New cologne, new clothes, new moves in bed. But you can't negotiate desire. You can't therapy your way to genuine attraction. Sometimes the kindest thing is to admit what's died and decide whether to bury it or resurrect it through radical change. The red flags for potential infidelity cluster together. Lack of intimacy plus emotional detachment plus secretive behaviour plus appearance changes equals a fair probability. Not certainty, but high probability. Your partner might not be physically cheating yet, but they're likely emotionally invested elsewhere. A client discovered his wife's emotional affair through her Reddit history. Months of posting about her dead bedroom while he was desperately trying to fix things. She was getting validation online for denying him intimacy, turning their private struggle into public entertainment. The betrayal wasn't just the denial, it was the exploitation of his pain for attention. Some patterns reveal the truth clearly. She's too tired for intimacy but stays up late texting. Too stressed for sex but plans elaborate girls' nights. Too overwhelmed for couple time but never misses yoga class. The energy exists, it's just not directed toward you. The phone behaviour tells you everything. Someone genuinely dealing with intimacy issues doesn't guard their phone like nuclear codes. They don't smile at texts then claim it's nothing. They don't suddenly need privacy for every conversation. When the phone becomes more important than you, you've already lost. Men should recognise patterns rather than hoping for spontaneous change. If nothing has improved in 6 months despite your efforts, nothing will improve in 6 years. If someone shows you they don't desire you, believe them. Hope isn't a strategy. It's often denial dressed up as optimism. The key takeaway is that sexual refusal is a signal, not the problem itself. It's your relationship's check engine light. You can ignore it, cover it with tape, or investigate what it's telling you. Most men fixate on the light instead of looking under the hood. 14. Sometimes the hidden truth is that love and desire have simply expired. Not dramatically, not traumatically, just naturally. Like milk past its date, what was once nourishing has become toxic. Some people stay together out of habit, fear, or convenience long after genuine attraction has died. Other times, the truth is about power dynamics. Your partner has categorized you as provider, not lover, parent, not partner, stability, not passion. They need what you provide, but don't want who you are. The relationship has become purely utilitarian. The response to denial reveals character. How someone handles your expression of unmet needs tells you everything. Do they show concern and work towards solutions? Or do they get angry that you're not grateful for whatever crumbs they offer? Their response to your pain shows their true feelings about you. Some individuals use intermittent reinforcement to maintain control. Just when you're ready to leave, they initiate intimacy once. Just enough to reset your hope. Not enough to satisfy your needs. It's psychological manipulation, keeping you hooked on the possibility of change. The biological reality is that some women lose attraction to providers. The same stability that attracted them initially becomes unsexy over time. The responsible, reliable partner becomes boring. They want the safety you provide, but crave the excitement you don't. It's not fair, but it's real. I've seen this pattern repeatedly. Woman marries stable guy, has kids, loses all attraction to him, but won't leave because she needs the stability. She might even love him in a way, just not romantically or sexually. He becomes a beloved appliance, useful, necessary but not exciting. The social dynamics affect desire too. If her friends are all complaining about their relationships, she'll find reasons to complain too. If they're all having affairs or getting divorced, she'll start questioning your relationship. Social contagion affects desire more than people admit. The Instagram effect is real. Some partners compare your relationship to curated fantasies online. Why doesn't he plan elaborate dates like that influencer's husband? Why doesn't our life look that exciting? The comparison to fiction kills appreciation for reality. The entitlement mindset creates impossible dynamics. Some individuals believe they deserve desire without being desirable. They let themselves go physically, contribute nothing emotionally, offer nothing intellectually, then wonder why passion died. They expect attraction as a right, not something maintained. 16. Meanwhile, they expect you to maintain yourself perfectly. Stay fit, stay successful, stay interesting, stay romantic. The double standard is staggering. They can gain 50 pounds, but you better not slack off at the gym. They can stop trying, but you better keep pursuing. The friendship trap is particularly cruel. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. You're my best friend, but I don't see you that way. They want the emotional support, the financial security, the companionship, everything except the intimacy. You become a eunuch best friend who pays the bills. Some men accept this arrangement thinking friendship is better than nothing. They become willing participants in their own rejection. They'd rather have a platonic roommate who used to love them than risk being alone. It's heartbreaking to witness. The truth about rekindling desire is that it rarely happens without major change. Not surface change, deep fundamental transformation. Either you become someone entirely different, or the relationship dynamic completely shifts. Small adjustments won't resurrect the dead. A man I counselled saved his marriage, but it required extreme measures. He filed for divorce, moved out, started dating, became the best version of himself. Only then did his wife suddenly rediscover her desire. It took losing him to want him. Sometimes that's what it takes. The prevention is easier than the cure. Maintaining attraction requires continuous investment from both people. Not just going through motions, but genuine effort to remain interesting, attractive, engaged. The moment either person stops trying, decay begins. The masculine-feminine polarity matters more than modern culture admits. Relationships need contrast, tension, difference. When partners become too similar, too comfortable, too friendly, erotic energy disappears. You become siblings, not lovers. Some couples try to be best friends first and lose the romantic spark. Others maintain too much distance and lose emotional connection. The balance is delicate. Too much comfort kills passion. Too much distance kills intimacy. The communication about needs must be direct but not needy. Our intimacy matters to me, and its absence is affecting how I feel about us is different from please sleep with me. One is stating a boundary, the other is begging. How you communicate determines the response. The timeline matters too. If someone needs space to deal with issues, how long is reasonable? A month, 3 months, a year? Without clear timeline and progress markers, patience becomes permanent acceptance of an unacceptable situation. Some men wait until they're empty shells of themselves, all confidence gone, all self-respect evaporated, all joy extinguished. By the time they finally leave or demand change, they're so damaged that recovery takes years. Don't wait that long. The evaluation process should be ongoing. Is this person investing in the relationship? Are they addressing the issues? Are they showing concern for your needs? Are they taking concrete action? Words mean nothing without corresponding behaviour. The decision point comes when you realise nothing will change without dramatic action. Either accept a sexless relationship permanently, demand immediate change with consequences, or leave. Those are the only options. Hoping and waiting isn't an option, it's delusion. Some relationships die naturally, and that's okay. Not every relationship is meant to last forever. Sometimes people grow apart, want different things, become different people. The tragedy isn't that it ended. It's staying in something dead because you're afraid of being alone. The courage to address the issue directly is rare. Most men suffer in silence, hoping things will magically improve. But avoiding the conversation guarantees nothing changes. Your partner might not even realize there's a problem if you're not expressing it clearly. The final truth is this: you deserve to be desired by your partner. Not just tolerated, not just accepted, but genuinely wanted. If someone consistently shows they don't want you that way, believe them. Don't spend years trying to convince someone to want you. Some women will read this and get angry, claiming it's all about sex for men. But it's not about sex. It's about being desired, valued, chosen. It's about having a complete relationship, not a business arrangement with occasional hugs. The healthiest relationships maintain desire through mutual investment. Both people stay attractive for each other. Both prioritize intimacy. Both understand that desire requires cultivation. It's not automatic or permanent. It's a garden requiring constant tending. The outcome depends on honest assessment. Is this a temporary phase or permanent reality? Is your partner working on it or avoiding it? Are you part of the solution or part of the problem? These questions require brutal honesty. The path forward starts with focusing on yourself. Become the best version of yourself regardless of the relationship outcome. Get fit. Get successful. Get interesting. Either your partner will respond to the new you, or you'll be prepared for someone who will. The standards you accept determine the treatment you receive. If you accept being in a sexless relationship indefinitely, that's what you'll have. If you require mutual desire and investment, you'll either get it or find someone who provides it. The fear of starting over keeps many men trapped. They think they're too old, too invested, too deep to leave. But living without intimacy is a slow death. Sometimes starting over at 40, 50 or 60 is better than dying slowly in an empty relationship. The statistics show you're not alone. Millions of men are in relationships where desire has died. It's not just you. It's not necessarily your fault. Sometimes relationships simply expire, and recognizing that is wisdom, not failure. The importance of male support cannot be overstated. Talk to other men about these issues. Share experiences, strategies, solutions. The isolation makes it worse. Knowing others face similar challenges helps maintain perspective and sanity. The professional help consideration matters too. Sometimes couples therapy helps. Sometimes individual therapy is better. But therapy can't create attraction that doesn't exist. It can only address issues preventing existing attraction from expressing. The acceptance of possible outcomes brings peace. Maybe the relationship will resurrect. Maybe it will end. Maybe it will continue differently. Accepting all possibilities removes desperation and allows clear thinking. The timeline for decision is personal but shouldn't be infinite. Give yourself a deadline. 6 months to see improvement. A year maximum. Don't waste decades hoping for change that isn't coming. The dignity preservation matters throughout. However this ends, maintain your self-respect. Don't beg. Don't degrade yourself. Don't accept treatment you wouldn't want for your brother or son. The children consideration complicates everything. Staying, for the kids, in a dead relationship teaches them terrible relationship models. Sometimes 2 happy homes are better than 1 miserable one. The financial reality can't be ignored. Divorce is expensive. Starting over is hard. But what's the cost of spending the rest of your life feeling rejected and undesired? Some prices are too high to pay. The social pressure to stay together is real but irrelevant. Your friends aren't living your life. Your family isn't in your bedroom. Only you know what you can and cannot accept long term. The personal growth opportunity exists regardless. This crisis can catalyze becoming who you were meant to be. Use the pain as fuel for transformation. Channel the frustration into self-improvement. The ultimate realization is that you have more power than you think. You can change yourself, change your standards, change your situation. You're not helpless, you're not trapped. You're choosing every day to accept or reject your current reality. I want to hear from you guys. What's your experience with desire dying in relationships? What worked to revive it? What didn't? When did you know it was truly over? Share your stories in the comments. Your experience might help another man facing this silent crisis. because millions of men are dealing with this alone, thinking they're the only ones, when really it's an epidemic nobody talks about. Let's talk about it.